Welcome. My name is Kelsey Meyer, and I work at Bowling Green State University's Center for Faculty Excellence. The Center for Faculty Excellence is the university's lead resource for teaching and learning support for instructors, staff, and graduate students. Our office works to assist those involved in teaching to create an engaged, accessible, and articulate learning experience for all BGSU students. To learn more about our efforts to create an equitable and accessible learning environment, please visit our website at www.bgsu.edu/Center for Faculty Excellence. All links mentioned in this presentation will be provided in the description box for this video on YouTube. On this slide, you will see a photo of me on the left and our QR code on the right. If you scan the QR code with the camera on your smartphone, you will be directed to my personal website, where you will find my contact information and a link to schedule a meeting with me. If you are not able to access my information with the QR code, you can also email me directly at klmeyer@bgsu.edu. In this video, we will be covering how to use Microsoft Word to create accessible course documents. Creating accessible course documents not only provides the needed accessibility standards for students with an individual accommodation or using screen readers, but it also ensures that your course documents meet the standards to be used by all students. On the screen, you will see an outline of what we will be covering in this video. After watching the video, you will know how to use Microsoft Styles to create headings that make documents easier to navigate for students and screen readers, add alternative text or alt text to images, add hyperlinks correctly, format tables, check color contrast, and use the Microsoft Word Accessibility Checker. In this video, we will be working to update a course syllabus to meet accessibility needs. If you have one of your course syllabi available, please feel free to bring that up on your screen and follow along. On the screen, you will see an example course syllabus from MUCT 2210, Exploring Classical Music. When creating or updating a Word document for accessibility, you will want to ensure that you have the navigation pane open. To open the navigation pane, select the View tab at the top of your document and click the checkbox to open the navigation pane. The navigation pane will allow us to see the outline of the document as we begin to update and add headings. This outline provides us with a view of how a screen reader will navigate its way through this document. Also, if you use a table of contents in your documents, it will also format based on your headings. Correct navigation also allows those with limited mobility to move through the document using assistive technology. To begin creating an accessible document, we want to format our title and headings. To format the document title and headings, we will be using the default styles in Word. To open Styles, select the Home tab at the top of the document. Click the pop-out box icon for Styles. The Styles box will open on the left of the document next to the navigation pane. On this current syllabus document, there is important class information at the top of the page. It is important for both visual readers and screen readers to have this content formatted correctly. To format the title, highlight the text Exploring Classical Music, MUCT 2210, and select Title from the Styles panel on the left. You will only be using the title style once in your document. Microsoft Styles uses a light blue text color. To change to black to ensure it is readable for those with low visibility, highlight your title text and change the color to black. Then right-click on the style in the Styles box and click Update to Match. I have already done this, so my styles automatically use black text for formatting. Next, we will want to indicate to the student that the following course information below is important course information. Highlight the text and select Heading 1 from Styles. You will now see the heading show up in the navigation pane on the left. For information that exists as a group, it is generally a good practice to use bullet points when formatting. This indicates to both the visual reader and screen reader that this content exists as a list below the header. Next, we will add alternative text to the images in the syllabus. Below the course information, you will see that the instructor has added an image to the syllabus. When using images in a course document, it is important to ask yourself if the image is necessary to display important content or if it is just used decoratively. This image shows a student symphony. I would argue that it is being used decoratively in the syllabus and can be deleted. However, for the purpose of this tutorial, I will show you how to add alternative text or alt text to your images. To add alt text, right-click on the image with your mouse and select Edit Alt Text. The purpose of the description is to provide information about the content and function of the image. This is what the screen reader will speak out loud. Alt text will also be displayed in place of an image if an image file is not loaded. Keep in mind all visual content in documents will need alt text. This includes content such as clip art, graphs, shapes, and charts. In this description box, we will type the description, "Group of college students playing in a symphony." If you are providing alt text for an image like an infographic or a graph, your descriptions will need to be far more detailed in order to properly convey the content and function of the image. Before we continue to learn how to make our tables and hyperlinks accessible, let's review the remainder of the document for headings and images. We will want the heading of each section in the document to have the same as heading 1. Any content below those section areas will be nested using heading 2. This indicates to the visual reader or screen reader that the content is connected. For example, class policies would be heading 1, and all of the sub-policies will be heading 2. If we look at the grading policy, this is a great place to update the document. Format grading policy as heading 2 and then provide a bulleted list for the grades underneath. Otherwise, the screen reader will read the spaces between the letter grades as blanks. We can also update this formatting for the grading and assessment scheme section. Under academic honesty policy, we will want to update the numbered list so that the screen readers and visual readers can navigate the information correctly. Numbered lists should only be used if the information needs to follow sequentially. As you can see, the instructor has included another image. We will need to right-click on the image and add alternative text. This image is decorative, so I would suggest removing it completely. But again, for the purpose of this tutorial, I will add an alt text description. If you select Mark as decorative on your images, a screen reader will read the image aloud as image or blank, which can be frustrating for those who are using screen readers. The course schedule is another area where we will need to add heading 1 and then heading 2 for our subheadings that indicate the periods of classical music as noted. We will also want to use a bulleted list to organize the information under each subcategory. If you view your navigation panel on the left, you should now see all of the headings and subheadings listed in correct navigation order. After updating all of our images and headings, we want to make sure that we correctly add hyperlinks to our document. Hyperlink text in documents needs to be descriptive. We need to tell the learner what the destination is and what is going to happen. We want to try and avoid using the full text of a URL, as it is cumbersome for both visual and screen readers with all of the numbers, letters, and symbols. This instructor has provided one URL in the course syllabus. This URL links to the digital resources for the textbook. A better way to display this link is to embed it as a hyperlink as part of the text. Remember, we need to show the reader what the destination of the link is and what is going to happen when it's opened. A good place to insert this URL as a hyperlink would be in the text that states, "Access to listening examples and media," as this description provides the reader with the appropriate information about the context of the link. It is also good practice to include hyperlinks to all of the BGSU resources on campus, including the Counseling Center, Learning Commons, ITS, Title IX Office, Center for Women and Gender Equity, and Accessibility Services. This promotes direct access to resources for students. Now that we have updated our hyperlinks in our document, let's review how to make our tables accessible. It looks like the instructor has added the course learning outcomes as a table. For this type of information, it would be better to have it formatted as a heading in a list so that it can be searchable in the navigation pane. As you can see, the course learning outcomes with heading 1 is now listed in the navigation pane on the left. Let's see if there are any other tables in this document. At the bottom of the syllabus, the instructor has provided a table for the course grading rubric. Let's format the heading in heading style 1. Now to format the table so that it can be accessible for screen readers. Select the table and then navigate to the Table Design tab at the top of the document. For this table, we want to make sure that the screen reader is reading the top row as a header and the left column as static information, not data. To do so, select the header row and first column box. From here, you can select a design for the table, but please remember to keep color contrast in mind. The final aspect of accessibility that we will check in our syllabus is the color contrast. This is an important aspect of accessibility to keep in mind for those with low visibility and color vision deficiencies. When using color in course documents, you want to make sure that you are not using color as the sole means of representing information, and to use sufficient color contrast for text and backgrounds. By using more than just color, you're providing multiple means of representation in displaying your information. In general, do not use red to highlight text as a means of displaying important information. It's better to bold your text if you want to indicate something important, as we can see the instructor has done here. Since we are using black text on a white background, this document should not have any color contrast issues. If you want to test the contrast of two colors, you can do so with online color contrast checkers, such as the one provided by webaim.org. Color Oracle is a free color blindness simulator for Windows and Mac. It takes the guesswork out of designing for color blindness by showing you in real time what people with common color vision impairments will see. You can also use the Coblis color blindness simulator to simulate what colors look like for those with color vision deficiencies. All of these links are provided in the video description box on YouTube. Now that we have updated our document with the key components of accessibility, including headers, alternative text for images, hyperlinks, tables, and color contrast, we will use the built-in accessibility checker to scan our document for any issues. To use the accessibility checker in Microsoft Word, navigate to File, Info, Check for Issues, and check accessibility. It looks like we have one error showing up in our accessibility checker. If you see here, it gives you additional information about how this is not meeting accessibility standards. It's telling us that the image is not in line. If the image or object is not in line, it may be difficult for screen readers to interact with the object. It may also be difficult to know where the object is relative to the text. This also gives us ideas for how to fix. To change the objects to inline, remove text wrapping. Since this is just a decorative image, we can just delete this completely from the syllabus. As you can see, we now have no accessibility issues. This document is good to go as a syllabus for your class. All of your students will be able to use this. Anyone using a screen reader or who may have an accommodation should be able to navigate the document correctly. So that's it for our tutorial about how to make your course documents accessible. For accessibility standards, we suggest that you format all of your documents in Microsoft Word, as Adobe PDF documents are not as easily made accessible. At the Center for Faculty Excellence, we strive to continue to create an environment of learning that is equitable for all of our students. And at BGSU, we will strive to understand and embrace diversity by breaking down barriers to meaningful participation to ensure that individuals are treated with dignity. Creating an accessible course not only benefits students who may need accommodations, but it supports the learner variability that we inevitably see in all of our classrooms. On your screen, you will again see my image as well as the QR code that you can scan with your smartphone to connect with me. Again, if you cannot scan the QR code, please feel free to reach out to me via email at klmeyer@bgsu.edu. I'm available for assistance with course accessibility and universal design for learning. Thank you.